Hey YouTube! Today we are going to be talking about all of my regrets that I have in Genshin Impact after playing for 200 days now. And I just wanted to bring light to some of these problems or mistakes that I've made, so you guys do not make the same mistake that I've made. And if you guys want, please comment down below on some of the mistakes that you guys have made that you also regret looking back on it. Alright, so let's start with Resin. Resin, I have 25 fragile resin right now. At the very beginning of the game, they handed you quite a bit for just leveling up in AR and getting your AR rewards. I am guilty of spending 40 of my fragile resin early on at AR 40 because I wanted to do artifacts. I was very excited to hit AR 40, and if you do AR 40 domains or artifact dungeons, you have a small chance of getting gold artifacts, not a guaranteed chance of getting gold artifacts. So if we open up one of the artifact dungeons right here, this is what I was doing. I was doing the 5th domain, and I had a small chance of getting 5-star artifacts. So the moment I hit AR 40, I used 40 fragile resin on that one day to do gold artifacts. I ended up making a separate video talking about that, on how many I ended up getting. I don't know the numbers, but it was significantly small. I did not get as many gold artifacts, and the gold artifacts that I got were not even that great. So I would definitely recommend waiting until AR 45 to farm artifacts, the artifacts that you get throughout the game from like bosses, chests, your adventurer's handbook is more than enough. Spiral Abyss, even for Gladiator, like the Gladiator and the Wanderer set, is more than enough. I can't justify saying you're going to use that as XP or artifact XP either, because if you think about it, if you just save that resin anyways until AR 45, not only are you farming for artifact XP, but you're also farming for good artifacts that you can keep long term on your characters. So think about that. You're doing two things at once, two birds, one stone. So definitely do not farm artifacts, in my opinion, at AR 40. Not even if people say, oh, you can use it for XP. No. Save it until AR 45 and then do two things at once. All right, that's my suggestion. That was one of my biggest regrets, using all 40 of those resin. Number 2 would be, speaking about artifacts, foddering your elemental goblets. Now, I am guilty of being impatient, especially because I'm live streaming, and whenever I'm leveling up an artifact, my chat will always pressure me and say, go again, +8, +16, +20 it. And you know, sometimes I give in to temptation. I do. And I'll level up the artifact and fodder something else and think that it's not worth it. I recommend do not fodder your elemental goblets. Even if you think it's trash or whatever, your elemental goblet is normally your off piece anyways. So animo damage bonus, physical damage, cryo damage bonus. I am guilty of foddering an animo damage bonus in one of my animo sets, right? Because it was just awful. The substats was like defense, flat HP, HP percent, or whatever else, right? But normally your goblets are going to be off pieces anyways. And it took me a long time to farm back up for another animo piece, and I ended up with this. I mean, it is a lot better, right? But it's in Maiden's Bluff set, and I guess I need to run 4 pieces on the other ones. But at the end of the day, I don't know how much resin I needed to use to refarm for that one animo piece, and how many Maiden's Beloved pieces I ended up getting, which I don't even use for any character. I think I only use it for Barbara. It's just a lot of resin that you're gonna end up using just to refarm for some of those elemental goblets that you did fodder. So never fodder elemental goblets, no matter how bad you may think it is. Keep them. Eventually, you might end up wanting to use it. Same thing, I had a bad habit of foddering energy recharge goblets. I don't know why. Or hourglasses, right? Early on, I thought, energy recharge, trash. I'm never going to use it. Attack percent's the way to go. But now, late game, you kind of want energy recharge for most of your supports. You want to spam your ultimates and just go with a battery. What is it? What's the term? Battery team? Like energy recharge, Fischl, Xiangling, Kaya, Xingqiu. Energy recharge is like very dominant late game, and it's also what helped me end up getting 3 stars on floor 12-3 with Lisa. Me giving her an energy recharge hourglass is what helped. Turbo team is what they call it. Turbo team. Yeah. So definitely be careful with some of the artifacts you fodder. Do some research first. If you're not sure if you're going to need it for endgame, just keep it anyways. And you can farm up 1-star artifacts anyways. There's locations where you can just farm for 1-star artifacts every day. And if you can do that for artifact XP. Just be a little more patient is what I'm trying to say. Don't be like me. It took me a while to get energy recharge artifacts back and my elemental goblets. I'm still trying to recover from that. Number 3 would be prototypes. We have these Northlander prototypes that you get from your weekly bosses, and they're a rare drop. I've made a video how I finally got my very first bow prototype in the game after 6 months, prototype Crescent, and I made the mistake of crafting compound bow very early on and then never used it once. I did use it on Amber because I had no other bow to use, but I did use it on her. I want to say for the prototypes, be careful with what you do. You don't even need to go for refinements on your prototypes. You have no idea how many people I've seen come into my Twitch chat and tell me, Envy, what do I do? You can, because you can buy your prototypes from the souvenir shops in Mondstadt and Liyue, right? But I've had people come in here and tell me, Envy, I've used my spear prototype to craft 2 prototype star glitters, right? It was Grudge back then, and they refined it. And then they came and told me, I had no idea Crescent Pike was so OP. What do I do? Oh no, I can't get my prototype drops. That dude is still probably waiting to this day for a prototype to drop because he made that awful mistake early on. So my advice is try to get at least 1 copy of every prototype weapon, or at least save them in case future prototype weapons come out. We know MiHoYo does it. They've introduced how many new prototype weapons that you can craft for blacksmith weapons? A new greatsword, a new catalyst, and a new spear. I have like every weapon, every I think I have at least 1 copy of every single blacksmith weapon, and I'm not going for refinements. Even though I do have prototypes right now, I'm gonna wait because I know eventually they will keep coming out with more copies. And if you're an F2P and you're not buying that battle pass, you kind of need these weapons. These weapons help out a lot. So definitely just try and go for 1 copy. I promise you, refinement rank 1 is good enough. You can clear the game, yes, the entire Spiral Abyss, all the endgame content with just refinement rank 1. That is enough. You don't need any more. Don't be that one guy still waiting for that prototype drop because they made the bad mistake of making 2 copies of the same weapon just for refinements, all right? Don't be like him. Number 4, one of my regrets is not focusing on weapon ascension, character ascension, talents, Mora, and XP. Now, I am guilty of being addicted to rolling on artifacts. I'm a streamer, and half the content for Genshin Impact is gambling on whether we get a good artifact or not. And yes, I've gotten a few good artifacts here and there. However, if I farm nothing but artifacts just to try and test my luck, after 6 months, if you looked at my account, you'd be like, Envy, you don't really have anything else to show. You have no Mora, no XP. You have no resources. Where's all of your time going? Your resin. It's going to artifacts. And yes, you could say that some of these artifacts are good, but I think I have more bad artifacts than good artifacts. So I would not say that that was a good trade-off. Now, I am getting into the habit of farming for resources. I've been doing that for the past like 2 or 3 weeks now with XP. I'm going to be farming some Mora ley lines soon. I've been stocking up on some talent books, as you can tell. Got a few freedom books here, resistance, ballad, all that good stuff. Ascension, weapon ascension materials for any future weapons I may get, like the stringless, the flute, Amos bow, Aquila Favoni. I'm just pre-farming for some of those weapons that I could potentially get, as well as boss materials. We got Hoarfrost cores, lightning prisms, and hurricane seeds for Sucrose. We're just farming up on boss materials and stuff like that because we will use that in the future, and then I can go and farm my artifacts after the fact, you know? Maybe I'll spend like 40 resin a day on artifacts just because, like, believe it or not, I love the RNG in artifacts. I need that dopamine hit. Chat loves it. So I will do a few artifact runs a day, a couple. But I would suggest running some of the other dungeons because a for sure way to level up and get stronger is XP. Talents. Talents play a big role. your weapon, and I think that's it, right? Those 3 things. Artifacts, that can come last. Do the ones that are guaranteed. Level up the stuff that will guarantee you do more damage, rather than you spending a whole week going for an artifact and you never get that artifact, okay? So work first, get the important stuff out of the way, and then you can have some fun, do your artifacts. Oh, is this number 5? My 5th regret with Genshin Impact is me rolling for Rosaria. Now, of course, I can say this after the fact because I didn't get her. If I got her, I wouldn't be making a video. I wouldn't include her in the video. But Rosaria, I have some regrets going for her because not only did I not get her, but I didn't even get any other good weapons that I wanted to use. I got a few bells here and there, right? Some barber duplicates, and that's it. But I do regret trying to go for her, but I wanted to include her in the video because you'd be surprised. I do not go a single day where at least one person tells me in chat, Envy, I tried to wish for the 4-star character. I tried to build up pity, and they ended up getting like the 5-star, which resets their wish count back to 0 out of 180 for guaranteed pity for a limited character. And then they're sad. You know, they're like, I don't have any more primo gems. What do? I tried to build up pity. I wanted to include this because, yes, I didn't get Rosaria. I made 65 wishes, but don't make the mistake of thinking that you should build up pity for another banner, especially if you don't want the limited or 5-star, or even continuing to roll for that 4-star with limited primo gems. This is basically a shout out to free-to-play players. If you have a lot of primo gems that you can spend, if you're a whale, of course, you can just disregard this part. But if you're a very light spender and you just save, right? If you're a very light spender or a free-to-play and you're very limited on primo gems and you wanted that 4-star but you don't want the 5-star, I would think about trying to quote-unquote build up pity or even wishing for that 4-star in the first place, because that 4-star is going to be put on a standard banner. They're going to be put on the shop anyways eventually, and you can buy them with the Masterless Star Glitter. Eventually, you will get them just by going for a future 5-star that you want. Maybe it's an off-banner pull, right? I've pulled on the Rosaria banner, and I ended up getting Chong Yun on the EU account. So you can still get off-banner pulls, you know? Like, eventually, you will get that 4-star. The 4-star is not going to go away. The 5-star is the problem. So don't make the regret. I almost made the regret of continuing to go, trying to get Rosaria. And you could go like 10,000 primo gems in, 20,000. You could spend $1,000 and still not guarantee a Rosaria. Just a message for anyone out there who's also thinking if you should keep going. You're not guaranteed the 4-star. You're only guaranteed the 5-star. Number 6. One regret I have from the very beginning of the game is you get a commission quest for Timmy, and I think this is scripted for every new player to get it, where you have to go out and feed the ducks. If you end up killing the ducks instead, Timmy gets angry at you. The next day, you have to apologize to Timmy, and then you get a secret achievement for 5 primo gems, I believe. I, unfortunately, even though I was a beta tester, forgot about it, because I was just excited to jump into the game. I fed the ducks. I didn't kill them. I have never gotten that quest back over 200 days. And I know you could say it's only 5 primo gems, but me being the completionist, I would like to get that I would like to get that commission quest back so I can kill the birds this time and then get my 5 primo gems. So if any new player out there gets a Timmy quest to feed the birds, kill them, you'll get a little bit of extra primo gems if that's what you want. And I think that was it. Lastly, one regret that you guys should, I've made other regrets in the game and stuff like that. You know, I've been capped on Resin many times, but that can't be helped. I hope they increase the cap soon. But another regret that I don't want you guys to make is check out my Twitch channel if you guys want. I'm live every day. We talk all sorts of team builds, strategies, anything that you guys need help on the Abyss. It's free. You guys can drop by on Shameless. You guys can drop by the Twitch channel. Don't listen to the chat right there. Once again, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Any comments or questions, leave them down below. You're more than welcome to tell me your regrets that you guys have in the game. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.